our reach has spread far and wide. We're now so big that we have to do a tier list.
Do you think the people that made this are like
billionaires
or trillionaires?
I think they probably...
Tiermaker.net?
They're probably running countries at this point.
Tiermaker.co.uk?
Yeah, I have no idea. Probably. All right, man. So basically, we're going to go through everything we watched or read or played this year.
I guess everything with a story.
Everything with a story, yeah.
We're not doing Slay the Spire or Pong, even though that's S tier. We're not doing that.
I see. Yeah. And I'll try not to do the stupid financial books I read. So one day I'll be out of debt. In any case.
That's what the book said, at least.
Yeah. I just got to sell 10 of them to my nearest or closest friends, and then that'll be the start.
But wait a minute. But I bought 10 of those books.
And now you're going to be out of debt.
But I have to sell 10 of them to 10 of my friends now.
And then they'll be out of debt.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. All right. So let's see here. We have a normal tier list. I don't know. Do you have any like cool names?
Man, it's the kind of shit you should ask beforehand.
I did. And you said, let's do it on.
Oh, well, S is S. Okay, that's fine. S,
yeah.
A.
All right. D is like not
just
good.
Shit. Just bad. B is like solid or good. C is like kind of or meh. I mean, A would just be like really good.
Yeah.
Or great. And S is just like, generational talents, Hall of Fame.
What's happened this year that I'm like, this is great? Dune Part 2.
Wow. Denny Villeneuve tier?
Yeah.
I think the E comes first.
So these are not in order, so it's going to be confusing, and that's going to make for a really good product for the end user. It's not.
So we're going to go not alphabetical order, not chronological order.
Not in the order that we saw them.
Just some random order, and then also they're not grouped by category either. It's books, games, and movies all together.
And anime. And instead of just
specific seasons of
and
TV
usually
shows.
it's just a season. So for example, we have like what Arcane season 2 or
all right, let's go.
Whatever.
We
blah,
got
blah, blah, blah.
900,000
number one. All right, we got Coherence. Anybody know this movie?
That's number one. Okay, I'll answer that for you. No one knows this movie.
No one knows this movie.
How do we even find this movie?
So okay, we go on Amazon and algorithms suck, but they are very good at doing what they're supposed to.
Yeah.
So I think we went on Amazon and you clicked on it.
Sure.
And it was just really good.
Yeah. It's a very low budget.
Mm-hmm.
No one's ever heard of this movie. It's kind of hard to explain. It's like people are trapped in a house and there's some time dilation stuff going on, and there's a kind of a mystery to find out what is going on with them and that house. It's hard to explain without giving it away.
Yeah, and then, the people have to deal with that. And so it's a bit of horror, I guess, a bit of sci-fi, but pretty low budget.
It's very low budget. It's people in a house talking, but actually it's done very well.
Mm-hmm.
Came out of nowhere. Never heard of this thing. I just clicked on it randomly. It's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
I'd put it in the pretty good tier.
I also would put it in the pretty good tier. If they had a higher budget, I think it would have been better. But also, I feel like it would have gone off the rails because they would have had too much power.
The concept and writing were really good.
Mm-hmm. And that's probably what we
It's like that thing
about
where
the
like
most.
you apply, an extra 10% of the budget on the script and it turns out good,
Mhm.
I feel like it's very obvious, but as long as the story is good and the writing is good and the dialogue is good,
Mhm.
the thing is good. Like the other stuff is icing.
It's like watching a YouTube video with good audio but bad video. You can tolerate that, but the opposite you can't, right?
Okay.
All right, so that's that. Maybe we'll talk about it one day. Mass Effect. You replayed it. I've only played the first one.
You
Yeah.
played the whole first one or no?
Shut up.
Oh my God, dude. What's wrong with you? You like sci-fi, you like video games, you like RPGs.
I don't have a volition.
There's this trifecta, like Venn diagram, and Mass Effect is in there.
Volition.
Oh my God.
I'll play it.
Well, I'm gonna put it in pretty good.
Yeah?
It famously has a not great ending.
Mhm.
Even you know that, I'm sure, right?
Yeah.
It was wildly memed at the time.
Right. They like released a update or whatever, like a patch.
That tried to like fix the completely
Asinine.
just crazy inconsistencies. Like
Mhm.
there'd be parts where like before they fixed it with this patch, it would be like this person's on a ship, and then like 5 minutes later, it's like, oh, they're on this other planet. It's just like completely
it's like
nonsensical.
Game of Thrones season 6.
8 even.
8. That's right. Yeah. Okay.
But Mass Effect is excellent. It's got excellent world building.
And still excellent in 2024.
Characters are great. Yeah, I played it again with all the DLC and stuff, and it was really good. The first game is a little bit dated, the mechanics and stuff, but whatever. Like, that's not why you're playing.
Yeah.
It's good. It holds up. I liked it a lot.
Okay.
And you would like it too, and you should play it.
Nah, you're crazy.
One day.
All right. And so let me see here. Next up is Dune Messiah.
Which one was that one?
That's the second
one.
book.
I would say solid or pretty good. I'm not really sure.
I was between Villeneuve and pretty good. I liked it a lot. I mean, it's such a short book. And if you've seen Dune Part 1, the newest, or Dune Part 2, the newest movie, reading this is like, I read it immediately afterwards and it took me no time at all.
It will add a lot of context to the Dune movies, and you should definitely read it.
Yeah, I mean,
but like are you ever gonna read it again? Do you want to read it again?
I would, if I ever read, I will read Dune again, the book, and if I read Dune, then I will read Dune Messiah.
Of course, but like if there's like a burning building and you had to save books, like it would not be. You would save Dune for sure.
Yeah,
you'd probably save Dune. What's the third one called? I actually don't remember.
Children of Dune.
Is that the third one?
Yeah,
you'd probably take that one.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's like this weird like companion appendix that goes on the end of Dune that came out like years later.
But it adds so much context.
It does. But like it by itself is not like super great to me. It's not bad, obviously. Yeah, it stands on the shoulders of giants. A giant of a book.
Yeah. All right. So pretty good?
I'll give it pretty good. I mean, that's the average of our two positions, I guess.
Yeah.
Like it's certainly not bad, but it's just like by itself, I'm trying to.
Yeah.
Well, whatever. Okay, go on.
And then Children of Dune?
Children of Dune, I put them pretty good too.
Yeah. But above Dune Messiah.
Oh, you got it.
Yeah. So much happens. Yeah.
Dude, like, well, are we doing spoilers on this?
We probably shouldn't. Because not on this specifically, because this is like.
This is very tightly.
This is basically.
It's the opposite of tightly focused. This is like a shotgun blast into the world of media.
Can you imagine just.
Across space and time.
Just spoiling every single thing we've watched? No.
All spoiler tier list?
Yeah.
Okay, go on.
All right. So, yeah, if you liked. Yeah, obviously. I want to meet the person out there who has seen Dune Part 1, loved it, and just hasn't seen Dune Part 2.
Oh, you mean
what?
I'm pretty sure.
Well, he has some excuses.
He does. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. But there you go.
All right, so we have Dune, the sci-fi miniseries.
Okay, what does that include? The Dune Part 2 stuff?
No. So the sci-fi miniseries, there's Dune, and then
Dune.
there's Children of Dune. So 6 total episodes between 2 series.
I'll give it a solid
or
meh.
Yeah, it's tricky.
The problem was that it really just like verbatim copied everything from the book.
Yeah.
Like they were faithful to the books, that's for sure. But like, when you translate it to a different medium, I feel like
I think if somebody watched this TV series without ever having read the books, without any knowledge of Dune, it would be meh to not good.
Yeah.
I'll say meh because it's pretty complex still.
It's like Sci-Fi Channel budget, which was a big budget for back then for a TV thing.
Yeah.
But I feel like Dune really needs a high budget. You need to feel like
or at least you should be able to work. It shouldn't feel low budget.
Right. Yeah.
And this one did.
I feel like a lot of it has to do with like
the effects of the time. Yeah.
Like that's a big part of it's like a religious component almost.
I think if I watched it when I was 12, I would be pretty hooked on it, but I didn't. So for me, it's meh.
I mean, we're judging it for now, not like when it came out, obviously.
Yeah.
Right? Like, we can't go back in time.
No, that's true.
Yet.
All right, let's do Children of Dune next.
Okay.
So
that's like maybe not good.
Maybe, yeah.
Got kind of goofy and bad.
It did.
I just remember that like knife fighting training sequence.
Oh, with Aliyah?
Yeah, like you lost me. That was like the first episode.
Yeah. Man to not good. What do you think? We put it in not good, and then we can see how it compares to others.
All right.
And let's just get this out of the way. Where is it? I know you're here. Dune Part 2. I was putting it like meh or not good. Honestly, I wasn't really sure.
I'm about to kill you. Just for saying that.
Yeah. All right. So that's obviously we're incredibly biased people.
Do we need to explain?
Biased towards good things. So yeah.
Okay.
All right. Where are we at?
Go
on. Let's put these in order. All right. Let's get the 3 body problem stuff out of the way.
The books?
Well, so we can start with the show. I mean, we kind of said not good, right? Not good to meh.
Oh God, the show is really bad.
Yeah. Look, we talked about it for like an hour or something, and
no, like that's it's worse than not good. It's bad.
And when I look, I was trying to be more. I think I was more charitable when I had just watched it, and now thinking back on it, it makes me angry because all this money spent on this huge high budget thing, And it's not the actor's fault. It's not the, set design people's fault. It's not the CGI people's fault, because a lot of that stuff was really good. It's the fault of the people who decided to write it and present it in a way that takes away all the gravitas of the series.
Now that I've read, because when we first talked about it, I had only read the first book,
Mhm.
which was mostly okay as far as understanding the show. Now that I read all 3 books, I see very small, to their credit, very minorly, it is hard to adapt the storylines across all 3 books, times, characters into like one TV show the way they're trying to do it by maintaining a consistent cast.
Mm-hmm.
But it still sucks.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate the effort that the rewriting.
I understand
of some of
the adaptation's a little harder than I thought it would be, a little bit, but it's still really bad. I don't like it at all.
Yeah, and again, my thing is just tonally, it just doesn't do it for me. And it's like, what's the point of, like, I get it. If you just want to like watch something mindlessly all day, maybe this is a little better than the average thing on streaming services.
There
But
was just stuff that was like comically bad.
Yeah.
and like all the sci-fi element, the scientific stuff was just like.
Yeah.
You remember when they made the whole sky blink?
Yes.
And
You should
like,
aim higher. Like, think a little bit better of your audience, and
Yeah.
not everything has to be for everybody.
Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah. All right. So on that note, 3 body problem. How do you want to do this? The 3 books: 3 body problem, Dark Forest, and Death's End.
It's hard for me to disentangle them as far as how I think of them.
Well, we definitely have a favorite.
Yeah, the last one was
Really?
I think so.
Oh, I thought the Dark Forest was the best.
It's hard for me to remember what happened when exactly.
Yeah.
Honestly, to me, it's like one whole.
It's true. And the first one was
thing.
more like historical than.
Yeah, the first one is
Pretty
definitely
good.
the weakest one
Yeah, I think so.
in light of what comes to pass. Holy shit! But
Yeah, it's not as epic.
it's like it's not bad. It's just
It's
setting
not
the
bad.
groundwork.
It's still pretty good.
It's very
I think,
good.
right?
Oh yeah,
Well, the words have meaning.
I think it's pretty good.
Words
Yes.
can kill.
Yeah.
All right. And so that means what? Dark Forest, Death's End? What do you think?
I think they would all go in pretty good.
All going pretty
I
good?
don't know if any of them would hit like S level, Villeneuve level for
Yeah,
me.
I'm thinking Dark Forest might.
Okay.
Yeah, we could do this. Maybe I don't want Dune 2 to be alone.
When I see those two next to each other, I'm like, no, that's not.
No, I'm not.
I don't think so. Do you think so?
It's not crazy.
I didn't.
I do think. Look, 2 things. Look, 3 body problem is pretty good.
Is that one of your favorite books? Because it's not. It's good, obviously. I mean, I
the
think it's really
series
good.
is one of my favorite series. Yeah, it had
And
problems, which I guess having
stuff.
problems might be incompatible with putting into this tier.
Okay.
But
For me, it definitely doesn't go there.
no,
For me,
all right, we can put it down again.
we can just leave it up there for now, and
All
let's
right.
let's revisit. Let's see
All
what
right,
else
all right.
ends up there.
Yeah.
It can't just be Villeneuve movies in there.
Yeah, and then to make this list even more confusing, there are things in here that maybe only one of us played or watched, and
Oh,
the other
yeah.
one didn't. So Spaceman or Spaceman, you watch this?
No.
All right, I'm gonna put this in not
Wait.
good.
I was gonna guess where it was gonna go. That's what I was. That's what I would have
Yeah,
guessed.
unfortunately. What is it? Great visuals, good acting by Adam Sandler. It seems pretty low budget. My problem is more with the superficial nature, I think, of the story.
Was it? Can you give me like a 4-second recap? What's the story?
Adam Sandler is an astronaut that's going to do an experiment in the far distances of space. So he's by himself for a long period of time. And then there's like a tag along visitor that takes the form of a giant spider. I think it's a giant spider, basically. And Adam Sandler learns to kind of talk to the spider, become friends with it in some way, and then just relives the choices that got him to where he is. And he learns about the priorities in his life,
so it's
like
like
his wife and stuff, like, oh, I should have done this and this. And
So it's like an indie
yeah.
walking simulator, depressed kind of holding
Yeah.
lots of long white shots movie.
Basically, and honestly, this is kind of a weird thing to say. It kind of suffers from its own good CGI because the expectations I had going in were much higher and loftier than what the film delivered because it looked so good in like certain parts. And I was like, oh, if a film looks like this, it must be pretty high budget, which means it must be just good, sort of. But it's
Sure.
actually it seems like at least, I don't know, it doesn't seem like a high budget film. And the writing is not as good as I would have expected. It's a much simpler film than I thought it would be.
I see.
That's all. Anyways,
Okay.
and then you watched Arcane season 2.
Yeah. I give it a solid.
Yeah.
So the thing is, I think it's probably the best looking animated thing that exists right now.
Okay.
That's what I would say.
All right.
I think a lot of people would agree. I know, like, there's stuff about if you don't like the specific style, I think you
Yeah.
were, but I don't know. To me, like the composition of the shots, the lighting, the just like the painted way that it looks like really cool. I think it looks amazing. Now the second season has a problem that like a lot of things have in their second season, where first season's like really tight. It's like this is the story, you
Mhm.
know. The second season kind of like branches out into like it's just unfocused, and so it's like each individual thing is good up to the same caliber as the first one, but like taken as a whole, it's just kind of scattered. And so
Mhm.
it's not as like tight driving. It's kind of like the first one, for example, has like 2 plot threads,
Mhm.
9 episodes, that's it. The second one has like 10
Mm.
or 9 in 9 episodes. And it's like, well, okay. So it's like, and they're not like super tightly connected. They do
Yeah.
come together in some way, but it's like, I really felt like they needed another season or to like cut some stuff out. So it's not as tight.
Okay.
Like it's not bad, but it's not like as good as the first season, I don't think.
Still pretty good, I guess, for even all that. And that actually brings us to The Bear season 3, which similarly,
Oh,
I'm just gonna put in meh, which it sounds really bad.
Are you
Or
serious?
solid. Solid.
Are you dead
Season
serious?
3?
Are you fucking with me
Hold
right
on.
now?
What were you gonna say?
Like Villeneuve, like S tier?
Season 3?
Yes. I watched them all together.
Oh, really? I think season. Okay, look, we don't have all of them here. I think season 1 was pretty good. I think season 2 might have been Villeneuve.
Here's the thing. I find this happens to me too. I think that people like they find a show, they watch what has already come out, like this show's really good, and then they have like these expectations and maybe worry that the future seasons aren't going to be as good, so they judge them more harshly. I wonder if that's what you're doing. You're going to put it that low?
Okay,
Are you crazy?
I'll put it in solid or pretty. Look,
okay, why is the third one not?
but the third
bad?
season is not, because it does seem less focused.
Yes, I think it's okay though, because
It is
like,
okay. Okay, look, I'll in comparison, I understand solid. I'll say.
Where are we gonna put it?
I was gonna put it man, but I'll put it.
You gonna put it next to fucking Children of Dune? Like, are you crazy?
I've learned. I've amended.
No,
I've
dude, like-
atoned. Solid. You say pretty good.
I give that whole thing S tier. I give that whole every season like Villeneuve level.
Every single
every
season.
Yeah.
How about pretty good for now? We'll
I mean,
see.
you can put it there, but like,
I'll say solid to pretty good.
I swear to God, if Dark Forest stays up there and that stays down there, we're gonna throw hands. Yeah.
Oh no. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, here I think we'll agree on the next ones. Barry season 1, 2, and 3.
Like Villeneuve.
Oh, not all of them though, right? Let me see.
I would say yes.
I wouldn't. If you had to pick one, well, here
Season 1's the best.
Season 1's the best.
Season 1's by far the best.
Which one's the season 1? This one, right? Oh, it's the second season.
Season 1 goes S for sure.
Yeah.
The other two will go pretty good.
I'll
say that.
I can do that. Yeah.
It's like season 1 of Barry is like one of the best things I've ever seen in my whole life. Maybe
Yep.
like honestly.
Yeah, I was comparing it to Breaking Bad, like after just a few episodes. It's crazy how quickly it just did everything.
The writing's great. It's very funny. It's like this rides this dark humor line like perfectly. And it is like super tight.
Yeah.
Like the writing is like so sharp. It's great.
And so we haven't seen season 4 because we need to be emotionally prepared for it. But
so you're right. You're right. So season 1, I think, yes. As the other two, not as high. Still really good, but not as high. So
yeah, definitely
that's fine.
Definitely worth watching.
That's fine.
What is this? The Holdovers? Did you see this?
What is that one again? No, I haven't. No.
Paul Giamatti is the old curmudgeon in a school, and then some kid.
You give me your breakdown, and then I'm gonna guess where it goes.
Unfortunately, has to spend the winter in the boarding school, and they learn a lot about each other. And there's some side characters that are pretty good. They have a good old time.
It's like a drama. It's kind of just like an Oscar kind of.
It's in the same vein as like
movie.
Dead Poet Society.
Which one's that one? Is that the one? No, Captain.
Oh, Captain, My Captain. Yeah.
Ooh, that makes it sound bad.
It makes it sound a certain way, which I think you would not appreciate because of your irreverence.
I'm gonna assume that you're gonna put it in solid.
Ooh. Okay.
Or meh, but I'm gonna say solid.
Wow, you call that perfectly. Yeah, it was a solid movie for what it was.
Right. I'm gonna assume that if I saw it, I would put it in meh.
Yeah,
I don't
probably. This is more of a personal preference, but it was a solid movie. Yeah, it didn't do anything bad. It just didn't break any new ground.
Yeah.
Speaking of breaking new ground, Alien Resurrection.
Oh God. Okay.
You saw this a lot when you were apparently younger.
For some reason, you You had those movies that you just rented from Blockbuster like every weekend for some reason, did
Not
you?
every week. Well, I had movies I rewatched.
We had movies on VHS that I watched a billion times, like Terminator 1. And then we
Mm,
had movies that I would always rent for some reason and watch them again.
hmm.
This was one of those. I don't know why.
You know, it's. I think the words have when you're younger, you see things in such a weird lens.
Well,
I'm sure like the word resurrection looked cool or something.
yeah. Well, like if you've only seen 5 movies in your life
Hmm.
and you've never seen any, like it could be filled with tropes. It could be the most derivative thing ever. It could be like copying everything. But if you've never seen any of those things
Yeah.
and you're a kid, it's like, this is awesome. Like the first time you've seen like a hard-boiled detective, the first time you didn't know that was a thing, you're like, oh, wow, this is amazing. But,
Agreed. Yeah, your timeline is different from the timeline of the Earth.
yeah.
And yeah,
For now.
there's a couple of things actually that I have to bring that same point up with. Alien Resurrection, I thought was actually not that bad. I think it was more of like a plot problem because the story and a lot of the special effects were really good, especially the ending, which was the most metal
Yeah.
shit I've ever seen in my entire life.
That was
so
crazy.
I'm gonna put it in there solid because there's parts that are pretty good, there's parts that are not good, but overall,
it doesn't
I think
really fit into this. It's more like, oh God, no.
Oh, no,
It's
sorry.
like, oh heavens, no.
yeah.
It's more of like an interesting academic study of like, wow, isn't this time capsule from back then and what they were trying to do and how it is? It's like interesting.
I don't know, man. I thought it was good to watch. Like, if you can watch Alien and Aliens, if you have the attention span to do that in the year 2024, you can watch this.
You can watch it, but it's definitely not as good as those. I
No,
don't
of
think.
course not. Of course not. But
I-
it's not as terrible as people led me to believe. So next, Alien Romulus.
Sure. Romulus, oh, okay.
It did some stuff that was so good.
I'd say it's solid
Yeah,
or maybe even pretty good.
I think it was pretty good. And this is some recency bias for sure.
The world building is solid. The atmosphere, the set design is like solid.
Yeah.
Good. Well, I keep saying solid because I see that word there, but
Mhm.
good. I feel like it's not super original, but like
Obviously,
if
yeah.
you're gonna make another Alien movie, I think they did a pretty good job.
Yeah, I like the special effects and the way everything felt
There was
real.
too many references and it got kind of stupid.
That's
sometimes.
right. I forgot at the end of
At
it.
the very end, it kind of fell off.
Ooh.
The very end had like a lot more references packed in there.
Well,
and
the
then,
end fell off. The very end got
well,
weird and
yeah,
creepy.
but it was too long. Like it had pacing issues.
Mhm.
I like it like ended
It
and
crescendoed
ended,
and then it had like a
ended.
double, triple. Yeah.
I give it a solid.
Yeah, I wish I could. I'm okay with that. There were parts of it
I'll
that I
give
thought
it
were
a see me
amazing.
after class.
Yeah, I'll put it ahead of Resurrection and Holdovers.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, it's complicated, right? You know?
yeah.
Maybe you
yeah.
should have that as a separate category. But
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
go on.
all right. So,
Oh fuck.
The Substance, which is a recent thing.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Yeah,
I
it is
would give it-
complicated again.
Okay. So it was shocking.
Mhm.
Visuals were like really stylized and cool, and,
And the-
visually it was great.
And the way the music worked with the visuals was
yeah,
fun.
it was like hypnotic almost.
Yeah, just to the beat, you had walking and
Yeah,
stuff.
and it was like almost like being in a dream, like trance.
Mm-hmm.
And then the very end, it went completely bananas, like
Yes.
off the rails.
I mean, I like the first third. I like this last fourth. But the middle, I don't know this fraction. I can do it.
7th.
5/12. The
Uh-huh.
middle 5/12 was not good.
I feel like I had a little bit of pacing
Well,
issues.
pacing issues, yeah.
A little bit of pacing issues, and then that middle 5/12 that you're talking about,
Uh-huh.
like
A little repetitive.
It kind of took me out of it. I was like, okay, why? Like, I don't know. I'd still give it definitely a solid,
Definitely a solid.
maybe pretty good even for what it is.
Yeah.
Like,
I will reward them for going out of the box by giving it a
yeah,
pretty
creativity
good.
points.
Yeah.
Okay.
Children of Time, we just talked about.
I give it a Villeneuve.
Yeah, we talked about it like last week.
I was talking to you about this afterwards, off camera, and I was thinking about it when we had discussed the book. Usually, we have like some criticisms or things we didn't like, and when I thought about it, I'm like, there wasn't really anything that I didn't like about the book. That's pretty rare. I'm like, there was literally nothing that I was like, oh, I don't like this part, or this is dragging, or I don't like these. You know what I mean?
Mhm. Yeah, I could super nitpick and be like, oh, the beginning was pretty tropey. Veronica Kern's character is pretty, one-dimensional.
You're
in the
talking
beginning.
like the first 10 pages. Out of
Exactly.
600,
So,
like,
but yeah, it's
oh,
really
dude,
good.
like-
It's really good. We might do a comparison, or we'll talk about the entire series. You haven't read the other
Yeah.
books, Children of Memory or Ruin, but as a series, Children of Time, it's 3 books. Three Body Problem is 3 books, but they're good for like different reasons.
Like again, do you think Children of Time and The Dark Forest belong in the same category? Do you think that?
Maybe because the Dark Forest made you think of such big things, whereas Children of Time did it on a smaller-ish scale somehow, but
Strangely, I
strangely,
guess.
it's really weird, right? What Children of Time does really well is you get both like a zoomed out perspective and a really good character
Zoomed in perspective.
Yeah, and the
You
characters
get really
change.
zoomed in perspectives, which explore like pretty cool, unique topics from a pretty cool and unique angle.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's fantastic. It definitely belongs there. Everything there belongs there except for one thing, I think. But we'll talk about it at the end.
Yeah, all right. What's this here? Can you tell? Rogue Trader.
Rogue Trader. Oh, okay. This is a Warhammer 40,000 RPG, CRPG for the initiated. I don't remember what that stands for, but you haven't played it. I played it. It is. I would give it a solid. It's interesting, and if you're into Warhammer, like definitely, like it explores like a lot of cool things. You get to go to see some places from the lore that haven't been shown really well or often before, which is interesting. The combat I found a little bit repetitive. It's like one of those things. Like if you're into Warhammer, you would like it. You should play it. If you're not into Warhammer at all, and you're not like looking at this, you're not interested, you probably should pass. I guess you know what I mean. Not everyone needs to play this, I guess is what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's not so good that no matter who you are, you're going to like it. Like, no.
Got it.
So I give it a solid.
Got it. So now we get to the cartoon portion. I'm rewatching Yu Yu Hakusho, which, I don't know, man. It's kind of hard to rate. I'll put it in Marisol. It's season 1. I watched season 1, huh? It's meh, obviously.
What
like,
is it about?
It's like, you haven't seen enough anime for me to say. It feels kind of like Bleach.
Fist of the North Star?
No. It's more like
Hajime Ippo?
No. That's an S.
Rurouni Kenshin? I'm just saying, I don't even know what that is anymore.
No, Yu Yu Hakusho, it came out in 92 in Japan, I think, and then I saw it in the late 90s, early 2000s. Things that, it's basically a spirit detective. This kid like saves this girl's life, and then he's rewarded because he's kind of like a dropout, punk from school. He's rewarded with, hey, because people like you and you're actually a good person, you get to go back and solve crimes for the spirit world.
No, okay.
That's really it. It's
tale as old as time.
It is.
Honestly, yes. Like,
yeah,
I've heard that premise kind of a lot.
Kinda. And for 1992, I think it's good, solid,
damn,
whatever.
92?
Yeah, right. And that's and it's still fun to watch. But
well, maybe when you get through more of it, it'll be better.
No, I've watched the whole thing.
Oh,
but this is just season 1. I think it picks up. I think the next seasons are actually better.
Okay.
But I will praise one thing. I think I watched when I was a kid. I watched it with the dub. Now I watched it with the subtitles and Japanese audio. I switched over to the dub again, and I compared the two. The dub titles are so good compared to what you think. Like they add more characterization, and it's kind of cool how they kind of go off script, but kind of weave it all together. It's a lot of fun. So I really like the dub for this one. If you like Bleach, I guess you'll like this. And there's a lot of parallels between the two. All right. And then you were rewatching or rewatched Gundam Wing.
Yeah. I mean, you've seen it.
Yeah.
I give it a solid.
What don't you like about it? Because I think we all look at it with like...
Okay, I think it's very nostalgia colored glasses that I'm looking at this
that's
with.
What I mean.
I think if I had never seen it before and I didn't care and I just watched it now, I might be lower, like meh.
Yeah.
But it's a little anime stupid. You know what I mean? They're like 12-year-old kids or something, supposedly. They're probably giant robots. They talk about, there's a lot of long, drawn-out monologues about peace that probably don't really make sense when you break them down. But it's impossible for me to disconnect that from me watching Toonami when I was 11. There's no way. It's impossible.
And the soundtrack is good. The
movie, the Endless Waltz movie, the animation is great.
That was one of the first anime properties I ever watched.
Same.
Because I didn't get like cable until later. So I watched Endless Waltz, and the music and the animation and that, I mean, it's amazing. And even now, like I talk about early like 2000s, late 90s, like cell shaded animation. It's sort of the pinnacle of sort of the at least for me when I think about anime. And so so for me, for I think objective reasons, I could say solid at least. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I would agree. I would say solid.
Yeah.
In historical context.
So next up, Netflix, Blue-Eyed Samurai.
Blue-Eyed Samurai. Okay, I'll give it a pretty good.
That good? It's better than Gundam Wing. It's better than Alien Resurrection.
No, I'll give it a solid.
Solid.
It's not better than Arcane Season 2, or it's about the same, maybe. I don't know. It's got that like 3D animation thing, like the Berserk anime, which it looks really bad. It doesn't look. It looks good.
Yeah.
It's not perfect. You know what I mean? Which I get it. It's cheaper and stuff. It still looks really good for doing that. Like it still looks really good. Like it doesn't look bad in any way, but it still has that kind of 3D stuff.
Yeah.
Which isn't my favorite.
Then who would like this this show? What other properties would they enjoy?
Oh, Samurai Champloo.
Okay,
it's like pretty similar, honestly. It doesn't have that Cowboy Bebop cool music.
Samurai Champloo has really cool music.
No. It doesn't have the same thing as that does. But I think that's pretty similar. Honestly.
Okay. Yeah, sounds good. Upload season 1, season 2.
Upload season 1 I'll put in S.
Yeah, I'm trying to find reasons to not put it in that, but I can't.
I think it's pretty excellent. Like,
yeah, it's
really funny. It's dark humor. It is kind of perfectly illustrates the technocratic dystopian hellscape we are currently living in,
or
taken to like another degree, aka 3 years from now.
Yeah.
So
it's very,
but it's very witty. It's very funny. It's very sharply written. It's very good.
Yes, love the ideas, and the acting's pretty funny too.
I think that goes S tier.
Season 2 is not as good.
Season 2 I'll give it like a solid maybe.
Yeah, what happened? It basically, I don't know, I guess this is a COVID issue maybe, but it sort of got disentangled.
It's like the same thing I said, like with like Arcane. It's like the first season's really tightly focused. You have like less characters. There's like one kind of central plot. The second season kind of introduces other elements seemingly unnecessarily in the same amount of time and kind of splits the focus to its detriment.
Yeah. I wish it was better.
But like you said, there's a big gap between season 1 and 2 because of COVID.
Yeah.
Can we say COVID? Can you still not say that? It's so stupid if you can't. Because of
yeah, because of
well, whatever. There was a big gap for some reason between 2020 and 2023.
Yeah.
Or 22, I don't remember.
But, it's still worth watching, especially if you like things like The Good Place.
Yeah, I'd say so.
That's probably a pretty good analog.
Did we watch the 3rd season?
No, I think we're still watching it.
Yeah, dude. It doesn't hit the...
Hopefully...
It's a shame, but it doesn't hit the highest highs there. But
hopefully they pull it together for the endings. Shogun.
Oh, Shogun. Solid or pretty good? I'm not really sure which.
I put it in pretty good. My issue is more with the
ending with like him being... Well, I don't know.
Oh, we shouldn't spoil this. I think it's pretty good.
The ending with him having COVID was...
No, I think it's
pretty good.
It's pretty good. It's hard.
I mean, the production value, like looking at ancient Japanese stuff, is like cool. The set design's cool,
and it seems like there's not that much media out there which features a heavily Japanese cast speaking Japanese, but for an English audience, which is what this is. And so it's very unique in that. So if any of that stuff interests you, it's worth checking out.
Basically, just this and Yu Yu Hakusho.
Yeah. Made for people like you and me. What is this? Midnight Mass?
I'd give it a solid.
Yeah, it had good parts.
Man, like...
And it hit a pretty high.
RLM hyped it up so much.
That's because of their own backgrounds, probably.
I guess so, yeah. And like, it does have really high highs. I don't know how to say this without spoilers. You probably can't. But I guess it's without saying anything, it's very well executed. I thought it was going to be... I expected more than what I got.
Yeah, it's more Manchester by the Sea and less
yeah.
No, I shouldn't say that.
Sure. Like if you're into Stephen King, like it's
there you go.
100% Stephen King vibes. Like
yeah, that works. So what are we saying here?
It's good, but I'd say solid.
I'd say solid.
Like it's not meh.
Yeah,
but it's not pretty good either.
That's true.
As evidenced by being between those two.
Amazing. Memories of Murder.
Oh God.
All right, what would you say? Okay, this is a movie that everybody knows is good. So what do you say to that?
Dude.
Heretic. Great acting, great visuals.
Plot incomprehensible, a lot of really stupid decisions by characters, pacing issues.
Seems realistic.
No, it didn't though. Like you remember.
Yeah.
I mean, you agree with what I'm saying,
I
right?
do. I do.
I guess for you, the visuals are just so
I
good
think
that it supports it.
Yeah, the visuals are hard to.
Like it was like I don't know. It was one of those movies where by the end I was kind of like, just end, please.
All
Like,
right. What would you put it at?
I don't ever want to watch it again.
Uh-huh.
I respect the artistry
Uh-huh.
that I see, so I can't. I'll say meh.
You'll say Matt. I'd put pretty good, so we can put it in solid.
Sure,
All right.
but like I don't like that movie. Just straight up, like
right, well-
I don't like it at all.
We'll have an Inquisition someday.
We can deep dive onto that one.
Yeah. Okay. All right. LA Confidential.
Doug, I don't even remember.
I kind of meh. It's fine.
it's
it's fine.
it's whatever.
It was a '90s movie.
Why the hell did we
which-
even watch that?
It's an average, I think, movie for the time, which is better than most movies today, but
sure.
still. Enemy at the Gates.
I mean, if you're like really into World War II, there are not many, or maybe not even any other movies about the Eastern Front in World War II that are in English.
Oh, okay.
Are there any other? I don't know. I don't think so.
I don't know many.
They're big, like not that I can think of.
It was okay. You would want to put it in solid?
I didn't say that.
Oh, okay. Well, man's fine then. All right. Because it was boring.
Like, yeah. I mean, if you're really into the subject matter,
Jude Law.
or into Jude Law, like,
Or into
if you're really into it, like, it's it's cool to see. It's well made, I think, but like, it's
Sixth Sense.
Oh, we watched that?
Yeah, we watched that this year.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good. How did it hold up?
I think it was fine. It was a little slow.
The thing is, it's all about the twist, right? And everybody knows the twist now.
Yeah.
You know? So it's like, well, when it came out, I can see why it was like, holy crap, like you got to see this movie.
Yeah, I would put in solid now.
I agree.
Yeah. Deadpool Wolverine. You see this?
I have no interest in seeing this. Let
No.
me guess where you put it. I'm going to guess it goes in meh.
It does. I'll put it here because it's really funny. It's fun to watch with people.
I'm so tired of that stuff.
I know,
dude.
but this one,
I know.
This one takes the meta to the highest level, and you can do one final one. The second half was not great.
I am so
but the jokes
over
are funny. I know.
I just
I know.
cannot care. You know,
I know.
That's where I'm at. But yes, I can understand that. I guess
Yeah. What is this?
One Cut of the Dead.
Oh. Oof.
I almost would put it in S.
Yeah, I would either top or pretty good or S.
Just for the creativity.
That's true.
It's like insane. Like
let's.
There's nothing like that.
Well, okay. For the 4 people who watch this, let's put it in S so that they're obligated to watch it.
Sure.
And then let's not say anything about it.
Yeah, it's one of those movies where it's definitely the best if you watch it knowing nothing.
Yeah, so don't look it up, don't do anything, just go watch it and have a good time.
But it's very good, it's very creative, and you've not seen a movie like it ever in your life, probably. Almost
Yes.
certainly.
Yes. Sounds good. Dragon Ball Z Kai.
Same thing. The less you know about it, the better.
Uh-huh.
You've probably never seen anything like it in your entire life. Just go watch it.
Yeah.
Dragon Ball Z, much like Gundam Wing, is like impossible to entangle from our collective national consciences when it came on in Toonami in like 2002 or whatever. It's like one of the first big animes, I think.
Probably when Pokemon Dragon Ball Z about at the same time.
Yeah.
And then other things like, Gundam Wing, Rurouni Kenshin, Yu Yu Hakusho.
Do you know Gundam Wing is way bigger in America than it is in Japan?
That makes some sense because I feel like it was probably the first Gundam to come here, but for them
It was like dubbed.
Dubbed. Oh, okay.
It was the first Gundam thing that was like widespread in America.
Whereas for them, they had like not just Gundams, they had like
Dude, they had
Pat Labor.
Yeah. Oh, we watched that, didn't we?
We didn't watch enough of it, I think.
Oh, we watched enough. Whatever.
Well, it's not here. I'd put it under solid
whatever.
for the episodes we watched.
So Dragon Ball Z Kai. So yeah, it's impossible to disentangle from those things. I can a bit. What I'll say is Dragon Ball Z Kai specifically, it cuts out a lot of the filler. And one of the worst parts about Dragon Ball Z is the filler. And by filler, I mean like
70%.
really ripped dudes screaming.
And looking at each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny because the cliffhangers, I think, kind of there's a lot of momentum in this series.
Yes. But you know how the anime was like going on concurrently with the manga, and they were like trying to fill space to wait for the storylines from the manga to come out. So they were literally stretching it out on purpose.
Got it.
I remember there's like this one funny, you have to look it up, but there's a part where there's like a bomb
Mhm.
and it's like got a timer for like 10 minutes countdown. And I think that goes on for like 3 episodes. 3 20-minute episodes is 10-minute
There's
timers.
time dilation with scary
taking
stuff
up-
going on.
Whatever. So Kai
Uh-huh.
kind of cleans up the footage, cuts out a lot of that stuff.
Mhm.
Oh, also what I'll say about Kai is like the English
Mhm.
dub is like it's pretty significantly different than the original.
Oh, okay.
And it's closer to like what the actual Japanese is supposed to be,
Okay.
but in a good way. So I think it's a lot better.
Okay. So
I
go- so I'll put a meh, but maybe a high meh.
Here's the thing, man. Everyone knows Dragon Ball Z is about big clumps of meat smashed into each other. It's not
Yeah.
that deep. It's kind of like if you're 14, it's the coolest thing you've ever seen.
Yeah.
I would give it for what it is. It's good. It's a solid.
Yeah.
But like in
solid?
the grand scheme of these things, it's like, no, man.
Yeah.
It's almost like, why is he even here? If you like Dragon Ball Z, you know you like it already. Whatever.
True. Okay. Squid Game. I don't know. I think everybody's seen it.
You haven't seen all of it.
No.
I'll give it a
I'll put it in
pretty good.
Yeah.
You haven't seen the whole thing.
No,
and it definitely
but
gets
what I've seen is
better.
good. Yeah.
There are probably some twists that you're not completely expecting, but whatever.
Everybody knows about Squid Game. Whatever. It's
No,
fine.
not that. There's more twists than that.
Oh, okay.
Obviously.
No, I mean, everybody knows it's a show that should be watched for the most part. Okay.
Season 2 is coming out in like a week. Do you know that?
All right. Fallout Season 1.
Pretty good,
Pretty good?
I'd say.
Yeah.
I mean, it was really good.
No, it's definitely good.
There's only one thing I didn't like about it.
Yeah.
Was kind of like, I didn't like some of the motivation stuff with the villains, I guess.
Oh.
Kind of took me out of it a little bit. It was a little bit too over the top.
Yeah.
It's very minor.
It's a little cartoony, but it was still really well done. Maybe there's a hard limit when something is created in that way, like that cartoonish way. But I thought it was pretty good.
They captured the essence of the video
Definitely,
game.
that's something they aced.
Yeah, amazingly.
More games should be like this.
More video game adaptations.
More video game adaptations.
Oh
yeah.
god, yeah, it's not even close. That and Arcane are like the best video game adaptations.
Cyberpunk was pretty good.
Yeah, I'll agree. The reason I hesitate is because it has nothing to do with the characters of the, and also it's an already established world and game outside of the video game. It's like a tabletop game.
Oh, I don't know that.
Yeah, it's like a Dungeons and Dragons competitor or whatever.
But well, whatever. We're not even talking about this. All right, that's fine. Fall Guy, you see it? Nah.
I'm gonna guess you're gonna put it in meh.
Yeah, I liked it, but
you're a meh kind of guy.
That's
so.
a subjective meh. That's a subjective good.
What was it? It's like a rom-com kind of thing.
Yeah, it's like a fun action rom-com that I think a lot of people talk about it. It's like
what holds it back from being solid?
It's just not that deep of a movie.
But like none of those movies are that deep, right? So like.
True.
What's the ceiling that it could have achieved? Can it get out of meh?
It can get to solid, I think. But I think, a lot of people talk about, there need to be more movies like this, mid-budget action, just normal movies that you go see. Whereas,
that sounds like a solid movie to me.
It is solid, but it's not that much different from Deadpool Wolverine. It's just more for like different people.
Oh, but that's so tired. That's the thing. Deadpool is like,
I know, but this is like they squeezed all the juice out of that entire genre. If they make another movie like Deadpool Wolverine, that would be beating a dead horse. This one was
that
like
horse was dead for me like 4 years ago.
Well, this movie showed it had a couple more yards in it.
All right, whatever.
All right, Rendezvous with Rama, the book.
Give it a solid.
It's fine. The story isn't super great. Again, I said it before. It's more like a technical manual.
It's like an exploration of ideas.
Yes.
The character stuff is not that interesting. Actually, what happens in it is like not like the most interesting.
Yeah,
truthfully.
It took 1/3 of Children of Time, and it made that into its own book.
It's solid. It's fine. We have a whole video about it.
What is this? Oh, night. Oh, okay.
What?
So what happened here? We both saw True Detective season 1 when it came out, and then I tried to watch season 2, couldn't. Watched like 2 episodes, years ago. Same thing with season 3, and then I said no. I'm gonna do this for America.
Are we gonna rank all the seasons? Or?
Yeah, so we can just go through all of the True Detectives.
Okay, season 1 is
because we rewatched them.
Season 1 is Villeneuve level.
Yeah,
it's one of the best seasons of TV I've ever seen.
Word out.
Is it on here?
It should be. Okay, so we can talk about The Day the Earth Stood Still.
Klaatu,
Klaatu.
Barada, Nikto.
Oh man, it's so funny to put these together, like to think of this in relation to these other films.
I think meh.
Yeah, I'm with you. Oh man, what a
I mean, like,
drop down to
dude, it's like
reality.
70 years old. Like, it's like that thing where it's
Attention
like,
now.
hey, that actually informed a lot of the stuff that you. It was the originator of a lot of things that you find tired and overused now. It's like, okay, put it in
Yeah.
the Library of Congress, but it's meh. You
Yeah,
know?
it's the same reason we're not like reading primary sources from Sparta or Athens or something.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't even know if those existed. Please don't come after me.
Of course they.
Primary sources, secondary. I don't know.
Probably right. Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah, it came from outer space. This is the one I believe with the spaceship that they're trying to remake. Black Dress.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, this one was
maybe solid. It was a little bit better.
It was better than the Day the Earth Stood Still. I agree with that.
You know what? We should have a tier list of like all the stuff we had to watch for that series.
We'll do that.
Okay, whatever. Go on.
Yeah, that's true. We should.
We already
separate this.
We talked about this ad nauseam.
We're mingling. We're mingling things.
This is kind of dumb on purpose. So
I think I watched Star Trek Enterprise, and then I looked up the actors' videos, movies. Yeah, Jeffrey Combs, and I basically just said, "Oh, I'm just gonna watch what he's in because he's hilarious." What'd you think of the movie? Was it great?
I'm gonna go with not good or meh.
Dude,
the thing is,
I'll say
like,
not good. Honestly,
This is some like what, like 1980s, 80s, just like kind of horror exploitation, nasty, goopy kind of effects movie.
Yeah,
It's like you pop your nickel in, you have a good Saturday night out with your friends in 1982. Whatever.
that's a good way to look at it. It's like looking through a kaleidoscope, going, "Oh,
It's
that was
kind of
fun."
like some cheap thrills, like the carnival. It's fine, but like,
It's not cinema.
You're never gonna think about it or watch it again.
True.
I have no particular love for that genre or that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? It's really not my thing.
I think
either.
that they can explore the ideas better, which that's the problem with this one is I think it didn't explore basically this guy like taps into another dimension. They didn't really explore that. There was more just normal standard horror stuff.
It's like one of those movies where probably like real cinema auteurs would be like, yes, the grindhouse, the grimy, the nitty gritty, the real cinema, the movie making.
The special effects were fun if you're into that. Like they're practical sci-fi special effects. So
I don't care about that stuff really, but
let's just move on to cinema, which is The Iron Claw. It's hard. I think it was at least solid.
Give it a solid.
It's not my cup of tea. I did like it. It was just it's a lot.
I feel like it was like, okay, yeah, it's a lot. It's like one of those movies where you can only watch it one time in your life. Let's say, what is that? Grave of the Fireflies? Oh no. Ansandi? Oh no. 1 + 1 is 2. Requiem for a Dream? Like, oh no.
Actually, well, I'm not sure.
I'm not watching any of those movies again, and I'm not watching that again for sure, but it was pretty good.
Yeah. That's all that needs to be said.
It was solid. It was a little bit.
But what about the sci-fi elements?
It was a little bit one note.
Yeah, well, okay, look, it's based on a true story, so
I know it was the saddest note in the world, but it was one note. I don't know.
Yeah.
And sure, you do get props because, like, it really happened. So it's like you can't be like, well, that's unrealistic.
That's the thing with real life is real life usually is stranger than fiction. Hey, it's not a bad movie.
It's not a bad movie. I'd say it's solid.
Yeah, good job, Zac Efron. Lousy Carter. We watched like half of this.
I didn't like it at all.
Should we rate this even?
I didn't watch more of it because I didn't like it.
Yeah,
it's kind of boring and just kind of.
Yeah,
it sounds like it would be really funny, like a dark humor kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe it would have gotten better if I.
Let's just make this category DNF. That might be a good. All right, next up, we got Citizen Kane. Did you watch this?
I mean, I've seen it.
You've seen it before? I'm gonna put it in pretty good. It's good. It's really good. This movie, like I watched it, I told you, oh my goodness, have you seen this movie, Citizen Kane? It's so forward thinking and out of its time. It came out in the 40s, I think, and it feels at least like a 60s movie. Like the characters are amazing, the cinematography is mind blowing, especially for the time.
Yeah.
Like some of the shots, the framing, it goes hard.
I don't think it's one of those movies where you look at best movies ever made, Citizen Kane is like number 1 or 2 or something. And for that, I feel like most people, if you're not really into into cinema, you'll watch it and you may even be bored. You're gonna expect to be blown away by the best movie ever made, and you probably won't be nowadays. But for all the techniques, the things that it did at the time, it's like incredible, and it's still good.
Yeah.
I'd put it in pretty good. Yeah.
Especially because of, we have context now that we're watching all this old stuff.
Yeah.
And it's pretty.
It's not like as viewed today while you're also watching TikTok. It's not
yeah, it's not a
tier level, and especially
Sure.
for me. So, the subject matter is like it's got nothing on Dune, right? Like that is like a made for me specifically. This is
true,
not.
true.
So whatever, we'll put it pretty good.
Yeah, Citizen Kane. It's all right.
It's all right.
It's pretty good. All right, Scott Pilgrim versus the World, which you wanted me to watch because
I wanted
was
you to
your
watch-
favorite movie you've ever seen.
Okay. What I'll say is the first 20 or 30 minutes of the movie,
Mhm.
I'd say is S level.
Yeah, they just blew your 14-year-old mind.
No, dude, I watched it for the first time like 3 years ago.
Oh, really? Okay.
Or 3 or 4 years ago.
Oh, wow. All right.
And I read the comic afterwards.
Mm.
But the next 2/3 is like not good.
I would rather watch Dune, the sci-fi miniseries, than this. So I would put it in not good.
I really like the first 30 minutes. It's very sharp. It's very funny. It's like, it kind of implements this like unique comic book elements or style. Like it's very stylistic. It's good. I like it. But then it drops off a cliff. They try to
Okay.
shove like too much stuff into it. It didn't fit.
All right. Next up, we have Stalker.
Stalker.
All right.
Ooh,
It's hard to say.
it was very boring.
It was very boring, but I managed to watch it all without falling asleep, so that must mean it's not bad.
It's like the concepts are more interesting than the actual movie, and like there's just like one cool thing about the ending that's interesting.
There were some cool shots for sure. The visuals, I think
Yeah.
there was something to say there. It's just, it's like if I had to give you 30 seconds of cool stuff from this movie, I could, but to give you like the entire length of the movie, it's hard to say.
A lot of it is three dudes standing in a grass field for like an hour,
Yeah.
seemingly.
Good sound design.
It's a lot of talking. It's very philosophical. Dude, like I like science fiction. Did a major in Russian language.
Mm-hmm.
This is my thing, and even I'm like,
Yeah.
like
it's
a little tedious.
It's okay. Here's the
It's
comparison.
mad tedious.
Here's the comparison. Stalker and Deadpool Wolverine. How does it compare to Deadpool Wolverine?
Like Stalker, it's like I don't ever want to watch that again. It's purely like academic. It's like, hey,
Yeah.
like look at this cool concepts. Look at like 1970s Soviet fiction or film, and like the Roadside Picnic, the book that it's based on, and the Stalker games, like all together. It's very interesting, but I don't ever want to watch that movie again.
I see.
In a similar vein, and we'll get to this because we have to watch Solaris. I've tried to watch Solaris 3 to 4 times, and I have failed every time for similar reasons.
I fell asleep watching the George Clooney one. Well, take that, Tarkovsky. All right. All right. And then Florida Project.
Florida Project.
I think it just belongs right with Iron Claw in every way.
It was pretty good.
It was pretty funny at
The
times.
ending was kind of stupid.
I don't think so.
Do
I
you-
think the
do you
entire
remember the ending?
I think the entire movie had sort of a fairy tale feel to it a little bit.
Okay.
And the end was sort of that fairy tale crashing down.
Dude, if
The
you're going to
spoilers.
perfectly represent crapsack living in Florida
Yeah.
and how depressing and awful it is,
Well, in this specific location, yeah.
like it's
Pretty good.
it does that perfectly, but do you want to live in that world? Do you want to see that world?
It's a world worth seeing.
Right. It's not fun, but it's like
It's-
do
you
you
have
want to turn a blind eye to like
Yeah,
the
you have
horrible conditions that exist
you
already?
have a duty to watch it.
Yeah. It achieves that goal really well.
Mm-hmm.
Solid.
Yeah. All right, Seven Samurai, as we just
Seven Samurai,
solid,
pretty good.
pretty good.
It's pretty good,
Oh
dude.
yeah. Actually,
Dude, like
I'm cool
for
with
a
that.
movie that was like that old, that foreign, and 3 hours long, like that, it didn't have pacing issues.
Yeah, that's true. No pacing issues. I liked all the characters. There was funny
the
stuff.
cinematography's great.
Oh yeah,
Like, I think it's just pretty good.
yeah. I'm good with that. I really want to watch. We should watch Kagemusha. I want to watch that cinematography, and it's in color. I think.
Or
so.
Rashomon.
Rashomon. Yeah. Them solid. Man,
It's like
it came from outer space here.
okay,
Rated
yeah,
solid.
that's solid.
We talked about it. It was good.
It is a solid movie.
It
It's just
is.
it's old.
Yeah.
So, all
One
right.
Cut of the Dead. Wait. This isn't One Cut of the Dead. You idiot.
What is that?
Oh, it's Wicked. Oh, hold on. All right, let me.
How did you?
You told me it was One Cut of the Dead.
No, I didn't.
Hey, did. Roll the tape. All right, Wicked. You watched the movie. I didn't.
Wicked. I'll give it a pretty good, honestly.
Dang.
I know, like crazy, right?
Better than Stalker.
No, I would much rather watch Wicked again than Stalker.
Oh, man, this is crazy.
Look, man, the heart
I know.
wants what it wants.
It's just funny. Like Mass Effect over here is like above, like Rendezvous with Rama, and
okay. So Wicked, it's part 1 of 2. It's like shockingly well done. If you say like, hey, they're gonna take this book and this popular play, and they're gonna make it into a big studio film,
mhm.
you're like, oh, okay, it's gonna suck. Like the writing's gonna be bad. Like, no, it's like surprisingly funny. It's well written. They change it enough. They kind of incorporate elements from the. It's mostly, I think, based on the Broadway play, but they incorporate like some elements from the books into there in a really good way.
Mhm.
It does maybe suffer a little bit at the end because it's got that thing where you take this is one story, but you have to cut it into 2 movies. So you have to have like an ending, even though it's not the natural ending. Minimal complaints. It was fun to watch.
That's crazy.
To elaborate further, you've never seen any of this stuff.
Mm-mm.
I read the books before I saw anything. The book is really good. The book is like, I would almost put it in like S level. It's like, it's also quite different from the Broadway play.
Mhm.
The like book is like really dark, really like serious political. It's like the wizard is like oppressing the Munchkin people.
Yeah.
He's like propagandizing them to be like like evil in the eyes of these people, so he can build his yellow brick road down there. He's building the yellow brick road so he can get the army in there faster to like subjugate them. There's like weird. They go to like the characters like the witch and like the good witch and stuff. They're in college together. Things are a little rocky. They end up going to a weird sex cult, all of them together, like this weird sex like
Happens.
party strip club thing, and things get weird, but they become closer together. Dude, like the book is like way out there in a good way.
Okay, so I should read the book.
You should read the book, honestly.
All right, I will. That sounds good, man. A Scavenger's Reign. Okay.
Boy.
This goes counter to what, man. Okay.
Okay, here's the problem.
Here's the good stuff. I like the visuals. I just hated it when I heard any sound from the characters' mouths.
The creature design and the character, not the character,
world building.
The world building kind of, I mean, it's not, it's more about that planet. The creature designs and like all the crazy stuff that happens, like with the
giant,
creatures, like, yeah, that's all great.
Yes.
Everything else kind of.
Oh, look, I think very specifically the human element.
Very specifically, like the characters and the plots, kind of like.
Yeah. The human characters are necessary because they are what give you some sort of anchor in this world and sort of help you understand what's going on. Great. I like the character design okay enough. I liked the world building most of all, and the other plants, animals. Well,
I just remember the characters making just like a lot of stupid decisions that seemed unnatural. Like
it feels like if you took the writing of Metalocalypse, like one of those like 5-10 minute episodes.
Yeah.
That's trying to achieve a different thing, and it does so very well.
Yeah.
But if you apply like that same sort of, like it felt sort of like that sometimes.
Mm-hmm. I feel really off balance here because the thing is, we're like ostensibly trying to be like a sci-fi channel. Scavenger's Reign was like this indie thing, totally creative, original venture that a lot of people seem to like.
Great.
So it should be like what we're definitely championing or what we should be fans of, and we both really didn't like it.
Yeah.
So I'll say the only thing that I really liked was like what I said, the environmental designs, the animal designs, stuff like that. The like 3 frames per second like animation thing, I can forgive that even because it's like, okay, it's an indie thing, it's a budget thing.
Yeah.
But I didn't like it.
I just wish the
Like it was a little bit on the nose, and like
Yeah.
maybe it like felt like it was trying to be deeper than it actually was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't want to be so harsh, but like, like film student makes movie about depression kind of, it's like
Yeah.
it's not like subtle enough, or but
I just wish it was more complex.
yeah.
You know, it's like, hey, we're trying to get off this thing, and oh, hey, I was a bad person to my wife. Okay.
It's kind of like one note
Yeah.
for each character in a way.
Yeah.
Again, I feel a little off balance because I feel like when you come out with an opinion like this on a channel like this,
Yeah.
you're gonna want to show your work. And like we watched it like at the beginning of the year, like it was like a year ago that we watched it, and I didn't retain a lot of it because I didn't like it. So it's hard for me to specifically criticize right now.
But we can write a paper on it if we need to.
I almost want to put it in not good.
I know. I'll put it in meh.
Okay, it's gonna ride that line.
Yeah, that's okay.
It's really hurts to do that almost, but
Yeah.
that's
Well,
how I
here,
feel.
how about this? How about this?
Like when we were watching it, we were like, it was
a chore.
it was like I was like, I don't really want to keep watching this, but I'm gonna finish it off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's not good.
I agree. Okay, well here, to save our reputation, Mars Express.
Oh, Mars Express, amazing. I would say pretty good. Not quite S, but
No,
pretty close.
Pretty close. I'll put it on top. It's the animation style I love.
Creative world building,
Yep.
animation, great animation style, stylistic. Like they explored a lot of cool like sci-fi themes and ideas.
Mhm.
Plot, writing, dialogue, good. Acting, good.
Yep. I like the ending.
Just solid. Kind of
Landed
like,
that.
and I didn't know what to expect out of it, and I was like, oh, this is...
I really liked the art style, especially for the
It looks
non-human
like
characters.
Moebius.
Yeah.
Drew it. The only thing I didn't like about it, the very ending, it was a little bit confused to me. I just remember being like, what? Like
I didn't mind that much. I think it lost a little bit of focus not lost focus. It kind of
like the last 5 minutes. or
Yeah,
10
the
minutes.
last
like
5
the very
minutes.
ending, I was kind of a little bit like,
it feels like some parts of it come out of nowhere. I think if you watched it from the beginning, you'd be aware, and I think there's some through lines that are always there, but yeah, maybe.
The ending was not as satisfying as I would have hoped.
I think the visuals at the end made me not care.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Again, like really good to maybe S level. Like it's great. I liked it a lot.
I wish, I want to see more things like this.
But I had some criticisms, but like it's really good.
Yeah.
And it came out of nowhere. It's amazing.
Okay. The Master.
Oh.
Let's talk about the good. I think they acted. They definitely acted. I liked Philip Seymour Hoffman. I liked the cinematography.
It was kind of like inane and pointless to me.
It's like a character study.
Was it?
I think you just
though?
didn't
Like,
care about the character. You didn't respect the character.
or care either.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like
This is pretty subjective. I mean,
It's-
I know what you'd put. You'd put what? Not good?
I'd put like the worst level that we can, or not good. I definitely not good. It's like you can respect the cinematography. You can respect that, like, okay, real people and artists are really trying to make this good. They're just not doing a good job.
I mean, I would put it in meh.
I think acting is good, right? The cinematography is good.
I understand what they're going for.
It was kind of like, what's the point of the whole thing is pointless.
I mean, it sort of feels like maybe The Great Gatsby, but for like a different type of person. In that way, this is his character.
I mean, like,
It's like cult
did
behavior.
you like it?
I was
You
intrigued.
Were you?
Yeah,
Or
by
did you
certain
just like how
elements.
it looked?
Well, that definitely helped. I mean, I'm okay putting it not good.
The visuals were good,
Yeah.
but like, I don't know. I just found it like tedious. Like I was just like
Yeah.
groaning like the whole time. Like, what? Who cares? What's the point of any of this? So that's not good for me.
All right, I'm okay with leaving it there. Poor Things.
I'm gonna go S.
Ooh. S, huh?
I think so.
I put it in pretty good, but S is okay.
It's pretty
probably the best thing that came out this year.
close. I put it next to Mars Express.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I think it was, I don't know, we're
I
not
don't know.
women, so we can't really speak to that
But
part
like,
of it. But I thought it was,
the coolest thing is like I had no expect. I didn't know what it was about it anyway.
Mhm.
So that was cool.
Visually, it was great. The plot was really fun.
It was very funny. The acting was great.
Mhm.
Had like a point. I mean, it was a little bit on the nose towards the end, but
The ending was not what I expected,
yeah.
so that was kind of interesting. That was good. Is it better than One Cut of the Dead? I would say it's as good. So in that case, maybe it goes up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's right there for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean this is fine. We'll see.
Oh god.
Oh, Tears of the Sun, S tier.
Oh, why do we even put
Because it has such a cool name.
It's meh. It's fine, whatever. It's like some like 90s
I would
generic.
put it as not good.
Sure.
Yeah.
Done.
Because we have to.
Done.
We can't disrespect.
I will not.
Scavenger's Reign that bad. Tears of the Sun.
Would you rather watch Scavenger's Reign or Tears of the Sun?
Scavengers? Well, look, this one's
Scavenger's
shorter.
Reign. Scavenger's Reign.
Yeah. If they're the same length, Scavenger's Reign.
Like 100%. I'm not.
Yeah. All right, Dinner in America. You'd say pretty good.
Pretty good.
I'd say solid.
It's like an 80-minute, like very like
cacophonous.
You know what it's about. It achieved all of its goals.
True.
Almost perfectly, I would say.
True. And I have looking back, I have a good.
Again, it's like hard to compare. Like, okay, Citizen Kane has got all these like lofty goals,
this is
right?
It's on the same level as Citizen Kane. This is hilarious.
Okay,
this is more of an entertainment list.
I mean, it's our subjective.
But what's entertaining to us is good story.
What I'm saying is, there's a movie like Citizen Kane, right? Okay, It's got all these lofty goals, ideals, things it's trying to communicate. It's complex. And it can falter in some ways, right? Then you have a movie like Die Hard, where it's like, okay, man fights terrorists.
Yeah, man versus nature.
Guns.
The nature of man.
And it's like, if it does that very simple thing perfectly, like how do you compare those two things, right? It's like,
well, we're doing a great job of it, so
I guess this is how.
Yeah, this is how.
Whatever, pretty good.
Yeah,
you should watch it.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, Long Legs.
Oh man.
Oh man, we really should be able to like split these in half and just put one half in one and one half in the other.
Long Legs, I'd say, is meh.
Yeah, that's so sad too. Because okay, look, it looks fantastic.
Oh, I disagree.
What? Oh, really? Some of the shots. I mean, okay,
you're right. You're right.
The framing.
A lot of the framing, a lot of the shots are good.
A lot of the shots.
I got tired of this wide angle. And do you remember, like, all the stupid stuff that happened?
Yeah, with
remember how like she's like, oh, there's a creepy guy out there. Better wander out of my completely vacant log cabin in the middle of nowhere and go look for that creepy guy.
Well, I mean,
maybe I'll leave my door open on the way out and just hope he doesn't walk into my house.
True.
Like, just stupid. And then the plot was like kind of stupid. Didn't make sense.
Okay, it felt like a surreal True Detective that didn't tie everything up at the end in a nice little bow. Yeah, it didn't.
I think you're making
it wasn't coherent. It wasn't coherent.
It was incoherent. Yeah.
Yeah, and to my eyes, maybe I'm dumb. But it did some things great. I think.
You know what coherence gets you? Solid.
That's true.
Incoherence gets you not good.
I'd put it in meh.
I'd put it in meh.
The beginning this year, I'm beginning to take ever since Bird House or Bird Cage or what was that? Something like that.
Oh, the Sandra Bullock?
Yeah, what was that called?
Birdcage, I think.
I feel like I can't really trust the opinions of anyone who I don't know in real life. So I feel like I can't really trust recommendations anymore. Like there's internet buzz. I feel like a lot of it's sort of fake, or it's just there's like a symbiotic relationship between people who make bad movies and people who talk about movies. Anyways, let's get through some of these. Okay, and then Children of Memory, Children of Ruin. Do you want me to rank these? Would it be kind of spoiler for you? No. What do you give Children?
Because we're going to talk about it. I don't want you to color my opinions.
Oh, so you don't want me to rank them?
No.
Okay, I will not rank them. They're both meh. No, obviously not. All right, so we'll put them under DNA. Well,
don't put them. Yeah, don't put them next to Lousy Carter. Oh my
I'm so sorry. Kill la Kill.
Oh god, that's
solid
to pretty good. Again, it's like for what it is trying to deliver.
Yeah,
and it's very tongue in cheek and very self aware, and also you cannot watch this with anyone that you hope to respect you in any way because it is like too
fan servicey.
Oh my god,
it's like I do wonder they've probably done the calculation. But games like Nier or anime like Kill la Kill, they probably do gain more viewers than they lose. But it's rough to make something like this.
It's so hyper sexualized. Even if it was like S tier, right? It's like I can't tell anyone to watch it.
Yeah,
they're gonna be like you like what?
Yeah.
They're going to like issue a restraining order against you if you know?
That's true. But we're going to put this out on the internet, huh?
I liked it a lot.
It was good. And it's funny that you watched this and liked it, but you didn't like Gurren Lagann.
Yeah, because I feel like this one was more funny. Like it was more like the whole concept was stupid and like humorous and like it's all about... I like the over the top, just way over the top stuff. The fascism stuff.
Yeah. Did you watch the last few episodes of Gurren Lagann?
Yes.
Mm.
But this was like
Mm.
shorter and again more focused the whole time.
Okay.
And like when it gets to like crazy cosmic levels, you're like, this is a joke. You know what I mean? Like this is like meta humorous.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Fine. No, it was good.
You ain't gonna convince me.
No, that's okay. What is this? Killers of the Flower Moon, I think.
Yes. I'm gonna. Okay. Here's what I said. Here. That's the right face.
No, I'm just. It's like I have to do something that I don't want to do.
It's my dog paw. Here's what I'll say. It's like imagine someone makes for you a pretty good sandwich. Okay, cheese is good, the bread's nice. Okay, it's a decent sandwich. Okay, now imagine that sandwich is like 3 feet long and you have to eat the whole thing in one sitting, and that's the only way you can experience the sandwich.
Yeah, that's true.
How do you rate that? You take a couple bites, you're like, it's all right. You eat 3 feet of this, you're like, I don't think I like that.
That's a good way to put it. And if I had to say a negative, because I'm sure people have heard a lot of positive about
long. It's got mega pacing issues. It's like one note over and over and over.
Yeah, maybe
again.
like 2 whole plot points could be removed, and you'd lose, I think, none of the impact.
Now, part of it is it's historical, so you can't just cut people out, or you can, but like because of what it is and what it's about, it's
a faux pas,
inadvisable.
Yeah,
maybe disrespectful to the memory of people that were actually involved, right? But it's like I know what's going to happen, and it happens like 3-4 times, and it's like without anything else being introduced, it's just like you're kind of just sitting there like, oh.
There is some benefit to that kind of repetition, but it also makes it harder to get through.
And then also, dude, the very end.
It was a little self-congratulatory, I believe.
Oh my
That's
God.
how I'll say that.
Like, don't break your arm from petting yourself on the back.
Well, yeah. Oh, no. Please, God. Oh, God. Why is that button even allowed there? All right, let's take a break. All right, we had a catastrophic problem, but we fixed it.
Killers of the Flower Moon?
Yeah, so Killers of the Flower Moon. I mean,
Where is
look,
it?
Yeah, it's right here.
Okay.
We can put it in solid. Better.
Dude, it's not solid.
It's not solid?
It's like not good or meh, honestly.
I'll put it in meh.
Like,
it's not a bad movie. It's just, like you're saying, it's a good tasting sandwich. It's just, you're forced to eat a lot of the sandwich.
The sandwich is like incredibly huge and like you can't stop. You know, like.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I would never watch it again. You would never recommend anybody to watch it. No,
there's probably a documentary or something that probably does a good job.
Probably, yeah.
It's a good story with good actors. It's a story that people should, I don't know, it should be told.
Just whatever. Anyway,
just wish it wasn't as long.
Oh God.
All right, so you replayed the Halo games 1, 2, 3. How did those rank against Citizen Kane?
I enjoyed them more, and it took less time. Probably. Here's the thing: that the ratings for them are actually different. I would say the first Halo is like S.
Yeah.
Not even, dude. The thing about what a random.
I've watched 8-hour YouTube videos exploring the lore.
What a random video, but the first Halo game, it's still fun to play even now because like the way it's set up, you know, like shooters where it's like it's kind of pre-scripted. Halo is like you could replay it a lot because it's just like all the enemies are reacting on their own AI and like unique things can happen. Like, oh, you throw a grenade here, this guy got scared, he jumped out of the way, but he actually fell off a cliff. Or, you know, it's just like very replayable. It's very fun.
Okay.
The gameplay is really, really good. The second game actually looks worse than the first game graphically. This is a separate.
Well, you probably played some like, read it. But okay.
I played a remaster where you could toggle back and forth between the remaster and the unremastered at will. I actually liked the remastered Halo 2 graphics better and the unremastered Halo 1 graphics better.
Okay.
We don't need to get in the weeds on this. It's solid.
Solid. All right.
2 thumbs up.
All right. War of the Worlds with Tom Cruise.
Whatever. I mean,
I'm putting it pretty good.
Oh no, that high?
At least solid.
Really?
At least all right. Solid. Because just look, it was not.
You gonna put it next to Seven Samurai or
we can,
Poor Things?
Look, we can go through that. There's an order. It was really good, though. It was much better than I expected it to be.
Well, it's hard for me to say because I saw it literally 20 years ago.
Okay.
And my impression 20 years ago was, and then I went to AP Bio.
Yeah.
Anyway,
It was here. I'll put it above.
whatever. I don't care. Do
I'll put it
whatever
here.
you want.
All right.
Whatever.
It was much better than I thought.
I can't
and that
say
is
it.
a movie I can recommend to people. I would recommend you watch that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I won't, but
yeah.
You know what? I'll do it when you play Mass Effect. How about that?
As long as the hours are the same.
All right.
Because I got a lot of recommendations.
Right there with you. Oh, God.
Signed up for this. All right, Prisoners. We rewatched this.
It's A or S.
I mean,
Pretty
technically it's
good.
Villeneuve, but
Technically, it's Villeneuve.
pretty good.
It's very, very, very good. I think the only reason I wouldn't give it S is because it's just like the subject matter is so
limited.
It's
Yeah, it feels
hard.
kind of like Coherence, actually. That's obviously much better.
Oh my God.
But it's not. Yeah, it's not that like next level.
I don't have criticisms of the movie, but it's just like,
Yeah.
it doesn't have the gravitas of like.
It's it's one movie at that scale, whereas the other things in the higher tier are either a movie with a bigger scope or a show that can explore things in more depth.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dark Forest, get out of there. Holy
Fine.
dude, like no. Next to that, there's a killer's row of awesome stuff up there, and then there's that.
Fine.
Again, it's really good.
As a series, it's really good. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
It's
After
we
you
split them
time.
up, you know.
Sure. All right, Furiosa, you haven't seen this.
No.
I'm not gonna say anything. Just hear it. It
I mean, what are you gonna spoil? It's Mad Max. I know what it's about.
It's really good. Just watch it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know you thought it was that good.
I thought it was really good.
I thought it was just like
it was one of my favorite movies of the year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought it was just like, oh, it's solid.
No.
I thought it was like Fall Guy for action movies or something.
No, it's really good.
Okay.
Yeah. You watched Maniac.
Okay, I'll watch that if you watch Maniac.
Okay. Yeah, we can do that.
You watched some of Maniac, right?
Yeah. And
Maniac,
it seems like Upload, in which I'll probably appreciate in a similar way.
Yeah. I mean, it just treads that like dark humor, really good character stuff, really good writing, story stuff, solid emotional core, retro 80s vibes. What's not to like?
Yeah, hey, it sounds like pretty good for you.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Maybe higher. I don't know.
Wow.
It's not going to go to S, but
next to this,
it's like up there.
Okay.
I've liked it a lot.
Yeah. And the way that we found that, I mean, I don't remember what I did. I found this because...
the True Detective director?
Fukunaga, I think the DP, the director of the director of photography worked on this. I was like, whoa, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's really good.
Yeah.
And you found it, recommended it to me, and then you didn't watch it.
Hey.
Even though I told you it was great.
Tale as old as time. Neuromancer, book I read. Maybe we'll talk about this one day.
I have no idea what that's about in any way.
Dude, it is the birth. I mean, again, it probably isn't. There's probably like a stone tablet written somewhere, where they describe, hooking yourself up to a steam engine or something and, building the pyramids. But at least as far as my life goes, this is the oldest sort of techno punk. What's the word here? Cyberpunk phenomena that I've discovered. There's things there. There's a place called Night City. They talk about the Matrix, and that like
when is this from?
Like 1980s, early 80s. I think.
Who is this by?
William Gibson.
I've never heard of this.
Yeah, I know. But even one of the shows.
Maybe we should talk about it.
Yeah, 1984. One of the songs in The Matrix Reloaded is called Mona Lisa Overdrive, which is the name of one of the books in the series. So obviously,
series?
Yeah, it's a series. I only read the first one, but
how long is it?
Oh, it's 4 books.
Oh yeah,
not too crazy.
Interesting.
So definitely worth exploring. Sometimes, like you were saying, I saw The Matrix and thought, this is amazing, this is mind blowing. And honestly, if you look back at it, that actually probably was one of the best visions of that kind of future. But then you realize, oh, there's Dark City, and oh, there's Neuromancer. Oh,
there's something to be said for nothing is ever the first anything, seemingly. There's always like something before, but there's something to be said for the one that executes it in a way that makes it mass.
Yeah,
gives it mass
crystallizes
appeal.
all of the different facets and makes it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though technically this thing might have happened first, it's not like a scientific discovery where it's like, well, actually, the combustion was invented. It's like, no.
It's the application.
It's like art.
Sometimes the application of it is what matters more.
Something about the execution, the characters, the time play, I don't know, sets it off, and it's like the Matrix effectively becomes like, even if it didn't create it, it popularized it, and that's like
in most people's minds
more
that
important.
Is
because right now there's tons of things out there that are already around that are not popular, that if they become popularized, they can like change like the direction of sci-fi discourse or whatever, you know?
Right. I believe you.
And I'm gonna write one of those things. I promise one day.
Yeah. So I'll put it in. I'll put it in solid. It's pretty solid.
Okay.
All right, and then we got Disco Elysium.
Oh,
Easy
Disco Elysium.
S.
Yeah.
Easy S. Man, I want to replay this. It's gonna be great.
It's like one of the best games I've ever played.
Yep. I think I like music, and I value that pretty highly. So
it's got a great visual style. It's
hilarious.
very, very funny, very dark, emotional.
And you got actual choice.
And and it's very replayable.
Yeah,
all the characters are very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like your standard RPG. Like, do I want to be good or do I want to be bad? It's like it's a lot more complicated than that. It has a lot of unique mechanics as well, and it's hilarious. Also,
it's unfortunate what happened in that studio, but hopefully something
and ironic, but
something good things happen. Speaking of S tier, Rebel Moon Part 1.
I mean, what do you even put that? DNF?
Let's.
I mean, we all know.
Here we go. Now it's about to. Here you go. I think that's
okay. That might be appropriate.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it under DNF. Yeah, we pride ourselves on not watching straight up bad things.
Okay, what?
Rebel Moon has Moon in the title, so it goes to the bottom of the list.
Whatever. What do you?
Dude.
I didn't even like watch it. We kind of like.
I think there needs to be a long conversation about what the value of a human life is, because if you know the value of a human life, and maybe you can just take your own life for example, why don't you divide that and you figure out the value of one of your hours? So, because one of your hours you could spend watching, I don't know, Iron Claw, or you can spend 1 hour watching Rebel Moon. That's still an hour. It's still an hour. And yeah, I get it. There's something to be said for, you're just like lounging around, decompressing, whatever. But it's not good that this is probably one of the more popular movies of this year. That's not good for society.
Is it popular?
We watched it because people were talking about it.
Well, they're talking about how bad it was.
It's still, people are talking about it and people are still watching it. It's not adding much to people's lives.
Oh, that's for sure.
I feel bad. Again, I always feel bad because there are people who work hard on these projects and it's like a paycheck for them. It's not a reflection of them.
It's not good, and it's also very, very generic.
Yeah.
Like this, it's just instantly forgettable. You know?
And there's so much like cost cutting measures and it just feels cheap. It's really sad.
Yeah.
It's like a slap in the face to not only like the people who have who watch it, but the people who like make it too. It just feels bad,
Yeah, it's like you get good ingredients and then you just make like a, I don't know, box macaroni out of it or something.
Or you take some, again, these people all work hard, so you take a bunch of like chefs and then you just give them the worst ingredients and you say, we could get better ingredients, but we're not going to, and now you're going to make something and put your name on it.
Yeah.
It sucks. It sucks that that's the case. All right, let's get through this. Spartacus, we recently watched it.
Solid to pretty good.
Yeah, I'm getting pretty good.
Probably pretty good, yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah, put next to Seven Samurai. That's fitting.
It's pretty good. Yeah,
old movies.
Ironically, Spartacus is like the most boring part about it.
Yeah.
Like himself, he's just a good guy,
I don't think that's, I think again, I like Captain America, and I think there's something to be said for those kinds of characters. Not every single character has to be like a, guy who redeems himself, or
I would just say that's like the Roman character is way more interesting.
True. I mean, I've heard the names were Laurence Olivier and
I don't know, but
this is Michael Douglas's father. Yeah, Kirk Douglas, I believe. And then Charles Lofton from The Island of Dr. Moreau's in here. Great cast, and like you're saying, really interesting characters. And then the visuals were phenomenal.
Yeah, the visuals were great.
This 2015 restoration is incredible. This movie, 1960, came out only a few years after, I think, like Seven Samurai and all the other, movies that we're watching like them. This movie looks awesome.
Yeah, it looks great. It's visually impressive from like 1960.
60.
Okay, yeah, there you go. Shocking.
We can do better as a society, and Spartacus proves it. All right. And then you watched Howl's Moving Castle and Spirited Away, which I've
Howl's
seen.
Moving Castle, I'm going to put in meh. I don't think it was that good. I was kind of like, it's kind of like a whimsical adventure, but it kind of doesn't.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
I think, okay, what would you put?
Spirited Away.
Uh-huh.
I'll put like pretty good.
Pretty good.
Like that's
Okay.
it's good. Like legitimately, it's good.
Yeah.
And everybody knows that, but
I'd put Howl's Moving Castle in solid.
yeah,
End of solid.
I put it in meh.
Meh. All right, fine. We'll put it next to Stalker. That seems fitting.
Stalker.
Like,
You can't fault the animation or like the visual style, but
I
it's
like
just
the music a lot. I guess it was a
Sure.
little bit
But like
lackadaisical.
we're not ranking it as a soundtrack, right? It's like
No, I did like the characters in it though. The characters were interesting, like the Scarecrow, the little flame.
yeah, I just felt like it was kind of meandering, or
Is
I
moving
would
along.
be hard pressed to tell you what it was about actually. And like every time you look it up, it's like, oh, this is about the Iraq War, and you're like, what the hell are you talking about?
Yeah.
It's like I get that it's about war, kind of in general, but like,
Yeah.
that specifically.
Yeah, it didn't leave as much of an. I mean, there were a couple scenes that left an impact, like when he's Hal's walking. But yeah, maybe you're right. Spirited Away, definitely. I think this was a lot of people's introduction to like anime in general, because there's a lot of people who watch the anime in movies, but they don't necessarily watch the TV series. But yeah, definitely amazing animation and story. And then Moonfall has the word moon in the title, so there we go. We need to get together and do better.
No more moon movies.
Yeah. What's that one with Moon? Oh, it was just called Moon, I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one. But we didn't watch that this year, so it doesn't go on this list. All right. You were saying midway through this list that maybe we shouldn't have just ranked everything we watched this year in one big list.
Gonna go out on a limb here and say that the target audience for this is not large. Maybe we should have only done books, or maybe we should have only done movies.
Yeah.
And maybe we should have only done things that came out this year.
And maybe
So
only
it's
things that
some-
both of us had seen.
And maybe, well, maybe not necessarily.
Maybe. Yeah, recommending to each other is good.
But yeah, I would say pretty unfocused.
But hey,
With
this does
no
help us put it something into a tier, right? Like Dune Part 2,
This will be
Barry.
cool for us in 10 years. We're like, oh, what did we think about?
Yeah. And really, rewatches from us are probably going to make up the majority of this channel's views.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
meant like,
Yeah, but
Sure.
but hey, look, like this S tier, this is a pretty good S tier. With Dune 2, Barry, this first season, Children of Time, Upload, One Cut of the Dead, Disco Elysium.
Yeah,
I'll
that's good
stand by
stuff.
that, yeah. And this pretty good tier is also pretty
Pretty
good. So I'm surprised we watched this much stuff.
this much good stuff.
Yeah.
On that note,
On that note, which of these actually came out this year? Dune, maybe Poor Things,
Fallout,
Fallout,
Mars Express,
Mars Express,
Fallout,
Furiosa,
Maniac,
The
The Bear season 3,
Bear season 3, Substance,
Seven Samurai.
Seven Samurai, Alien Romulus, Arcane. All right.
I think Rogue Trader came out last year. It was pretty close.
Yeah.
Blue Eye Samurai, I think, came out this year.
Okay. And Iron Claw is pretty
Did Iron Claw come out
recent.
this year?
Maybe it was last year. The Fall Guy, Deadpool, Wolverine.
There's some like stuff in here we shouldn't like who gives a shit about LA Confidential? I don't even care about it.
Hey, look, it's good to have context.
Oh, we watched it.
Three Body Problem, I think, was last year. And yeah, Rebel Moon, Moonfall, maybe. Yeah, not too much from this year. We watched.
Three Body Problem was this year, had to be.
Yeah, we watched
Early
some
this year, I think.
really good things.
Uh-huh.
And I think, like most people, we're just kind of picking through the good stuff of the past.
Okay.
All right. Another successful year, another successful tier list.
Gotta go.
Bye.